Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to literally the easiest Easter egg guide I can possibly give you for Ashes of the Damned. Without further ado, let's get into it. Upon spawning in, you just need to follow the objective markers in order to get Ted's head, install it onto the car, and then make a left once you start driving your car into the lake area of the map. Once you arrive at the lake, turn on the power as per usual. The objective markers are telling you what to do, but before you leave this area, make sure you head into the kitchen over here and grab this jar of spores off of the counter. This is one of 5 different mixers for a potion we're gonna need later on in this Easter egg. Continue on to the central hub of the map, install on your pack-a-punch machine, and then you're gonna head to the diner exit 115 in the back corner of the map. Upon arriving here, you're gonna buy the door and go inside of the diner and hang out here killing zombies until you find a zombie called the Cook. This is going to drop a freezer key, which you're gonna use on this door in order to get the abomination heads, which are going to be the next thing that you install onto your car. However, before leaving this room, make sure you grab this combat axe on the table here, which we're gonna take over to the next step of the Easter egg. Before we install that carcass, however, we're gonna head over to Van Dorn Farm and we're gonna turn on the power in this area. Once you go inside of the barn to turn on the power, jump on top of this hay bale in the middle and you're gonna start looking at all of the hanging zombies' feet and looking for one that looks like it has a slightly disconnected foot. It can be this one right here or any of the other ones around, and you're gonna throw a tomahawk at this foot in order to dislocate it and drop it onto the ground. To pick up this foot, we're gonna need a Molotov, but just chill for now. I'm gonna show you guys where to get a free one in just a second, but for now, head outside, go over to this rotting cow carcass laying on the ground, and you're gonna dump your spores that you picked up from the house into this carcass, and it's gonna take 2 full rounds for this to grow into a spore that you can actually pick back up and put it in your inventory. Next, we're just gonna hang out in this farm area until we either get a Ravager round or just see a wild Ravager spawn running around in the area. Either one will work. Whenever you see one of those, head over to the saw blade trap, turn that on, and it is going to drop Ravager eyes from the first Ravager killed in the saw trap. Pick those up. This is another ingredient for our potion that we're gonna get later on. Next, we're gonna take the truck back to the garage, which is gonna allow us to install that abomination carcass, which is now gonna allow us to shoot laser beams out of the front of our car. And while we're here, we are also going to grab this Molotov sitting right here, and you guessed it, head back to Van Dorn Farm. Once at Van Dorn Farm, we're basically gonna farm points and hang out here until that spore turns into a fully fledged little fungus that we can pick up. And then once we do this, don't forget to take that Molotov over and burn up that foot on the ground, which will give you human bones, which you also need to pick up for that mixture we're gonna be making very, very soon. The final part we need before starting to build the wonder weapon is going to be found out in the wilderness in between each of the main map areas, and you're gonna look for this giant purple mushroom and shoot it with your car's headlight laser beam thing. Your beam attack that you just installed, shoot that and it is going to pop out a bunch of good loot. This is a great way to get loot just in general, but one of the parts that pops out will be those little husk parts that you need to pick up, and once you have those in your inventory, we are ready to go on to actually building the wonder weapon. For the next part of the Easter egg, we're gonna stop that collectathon and actually start building the wonder weapon in this map. And the first step of doing this is anytime after round 8, when you feel like your guns are ready and you can do a little bit of a boss fight here, you're going to head to the spawn, get close enough to that ping that I put on the wall, and that is going to spawn an Uber Klaus into the map that you have to kill, and he is going to drop apart once you kill that second part of the core onto the ground. Next up, you're gonna need to craft 2 stun grenades. With these 2 stun grenades in hand, head over to the sheriff's office, which is in the upper part of the Ashwood middle area. You will find Klaus sitting inside, basically disabled in there until you install that chip that we just got off of the Mecha Klaus. Give it a few seconds until you see on the screen, update requires restart. And whenever you see that on the screen, take your 2 stun grenades and throw them back to back as close as you can to Klaus through the prison bars. Now, if you've done this correctly, Klaus will get a little stun ring around his head for a few seconds, and then he will perk up, start talking to you, and now you have a Klaus that is following you that you can control with your tactical equipment. Now, once Klaus is called in, he is timed. He will slowly start losing health, so as quickly as you can, head over to the Zarya Cosmodrome and direct him to stand in front of this electronic equipment on the wall, which he will reactivate. Once he reactivates it, one player on your team goes over and activates this little equipment on the wall, and this will activate a scan in which you just need to stand in and have it scan you by yourself. If there are any zombies or other players in here, it will cancel the scan. It doesn't matter which player on your team does this, but whoever does activate it does need to stand by themselves in this area until it is complete. Once done, this canister wall will open up. You can grab the canister out of there, take it to the truck, which will allow you to drive with the canister to 3 different locations that we need to take it to charge it up. The first location we're taking it to is Ashwood, and all you need to do for this is carry the canister over, place it inside of the power power thing that we turned on at the very beginning of the map. It will charge up, and then once it is charged up, you'll be able to remove it, and then you have a countdown to get it to the next location. Otherwise, you will have to restart all over again. It's very easy to do. Once you have the first one done, drive it over to the lake, and again, same exact thing, put it in there. The zombies aren't even going to attack it. Just let it fill all the way up, and then you're gonna take it to the third location, which is going to be the farm. Now, once it is done sucking at the farm, you're gonna carry it down underneath to the basement and drop it off next to this little mystery box here, which will absorb all of its energy. To get the symbols we need to open this box fully, we are going to launch ourselves to spawn away from Van Doren Farm and look behind us at all of the roofs, and there's gonna be 3 different red symbols up there. And then we're gonna do the same thing on the way back, just looking again, double checking all of the spawns and seeing what kind of symbols we have. You can do this as many times as you need, just figure out what 3 symbols you have that are covered in red. Once you have those 3 symbols, head down and put them on each side of the box. It'll be obvious which side of the box each symbol goes on. And when you have the code correct, you're gonna go to the front of the box and press interact on the eye, which will start this little baby lockdown, not really lockdown. You won't be able to leave the circle, but it'll give you the wonder weapon out of here, and you have to use the wonder weapon to shoot each of these little orbs that it shoots out, and then use the reload to retract those orbs back into your gauntlet. And once you're done with that, you fully have the wonder weapon in your game. Also, side note, the wonder weapon is going to be available in the box for everyone in your game to get if anyone else would like to get the necrofluid gauntlet. For this next step, we're going to be required to get Wisp Tea, which can be found at the Zarya Cosmodrome. Just head over and buy this, and then head back to Ashwood. Head over to this magic mirror that is next to Vulture in Ashwood, and you're gonna kill zombies in this area until your Wisp spawns. Whenever your Wisp spawns, it'll automatically go over and reveal the magic mirror that is on this wall here. And whenever that mirror is revealed, you just need to shoot it with the wonder weapon, and out will pop a little bit of ash that you need to pick up for the next part of the quest. Now that we have the wonder weapon and every other part but one, we need to get the final part for the mixture that we're about to be brewing up. And to do this, you need to get a bear, which starts spawning in on round 16. And on round 16, you want to get this bear pretty weak because you're going to have to kill it with the beam attack from your car. So get him down to pretty low HP. The beam attack doesn't do a ton of damage, I've found in my games, but get him down pretty low, use the car, back it up, and then shoot him with the beam attack. And if done correctly, this bear is going to drop a part on the ground just like the other ones did before, and you can go grab that, and that is the final part we need for the next step of the quest. Head over to the Zarya Cosmodrome, and with all of your parts in hand, all of these plates should be on the table, and you're gonna interact with the ashy one in order to use it as chalk to write your code on the wall. Don't panic, I'm gonna show you exactly how to do this right now. This code is basically describing 3 of the items on the table that you need to click in a particular order from top to bottom, 1, 2, 3. This changes every game per player, but in order to find out what you need to click, you just need to look at the first letter of this code. Using the first letter of each line, find the 3 items you click and what order. So very simply, just use this chart on screen. I'm going to show you how I did it in my game. So for my game, again, I only look at the first letter of each line. I compare them, and I know that I want this thing for number 1. I want this thing for number 2. And I want this thing for number 3. I literally just click those on the table in that order, and I'm done. That's all there's to it. So here I go. Here's my number 1. Here is my number 2, the little bone thing. And then here is my number 3. Boom, I didn't even need to use the other 2 at all. They weren't the symbol that I had, and we are good to go, and I can add my blood. Now at this point, I recommend you get the wonder weapon pack-a-punched up because you're gonna need it a little bit strong for the next step, and I would recommend definitely getting Jug and a few other perks you might use to stay alive because this game is about to take all of your health away for the next step. Whenever you're ready to go, you're gonna activate this. It is going to drain your blood and set your health to about 75 HP, and the only way to get any health back is using the gauntlet to heal yourself. All you need to do is shoot the gauntlet onto the floor, and every single time you reload, all of those little beads will come back to you, and every single time one of those kills a zombie, it will heal you. There's no health regen, there is no stims. This is the only way to get your health up at all, and you just need to survive this lockdown for a little bit using this gauntlet to keep you alive. If you're playing with 4 people, whoever adds the blood should have the gauntlet because they're the only ones who will be able to heal, and there you go. Once you do that, it will hotbox the room, and you'll be able to leave, and you're on to the next step. For the next step, again, I would recommend getting set up plus stamina because you're gonna be running out in the scary area for a couple parts of this. But once you are set up, head out to the boat, and we're gonna pick up the first of 3 keys that we need to progress to the next step. We're gonna look underneath the boat for the first of 3 spawn points. It is going to spawn underneath here in between those barrels. If it is not there, we're gonna head up to the top part of the boat, look inside of this window and see if it spawned right there on the shelf. And if it didn't spawn right there on the shelf, the third and final location it can spawn is going to be on the ground in this little shipping container. You're gonna shoot the wonder weapon, make sure you are safe, make sure you have the car near nearby because this is going to nerf you when you pick it up, and you're going to pull and reload that little part out of there, and you'll see that key on the ground. Now again, it is going to nerf you when you pick it up, so pick it up, immediately get to the car because it is going to put you at a snail's pace, and whenever you're in the car, you're going to drive it back to Ashwood, and in the back area, you're going to find this pyramid has appeared here, and you use this lock. This is one of 3 locks you need to use in order to unlock this pyramid. The next spot we're going to be looking for is exiting Ashwood out this way. Keep driving until you find this dinosaur head on the ground. Look inside, look really closely at the back teeth from your car. If you can't see anything there, keep on driving until you see the second dinosaur head. On the second dinosaur head, climb up out of your car, get on top of the rock, and look inside of there. Look for any glowing keys. If you see it, obviously shoot it with your wonder weapon. But if you don't see it here, continue driving, and the third and final spawn location is behind this car at the very, very end. Now, whenever you pick up this key, it is going to put you to 1 HP, an extremely dangerous key, so make sure no zombies are around whenever you pick this thing up. Immediately hop in your car, same thing, drive it back to Ashwood, and put it into the pyramid, and that's your second out of 3 keys done. The third and final key is going to have, again, 3 spawn locations headed toward the Zarya Cosmodrome. The first spawn location is going to be up here on this mountain inside of this grass here or somewhere nearby it. The second spawn location is going to be right on top of this pylon. This is a very, very easy one to spot. It'll just be glowing right up there. And then the third and final one, if you continue driving down, is going to be the one I had obviously in my game. You can see it right there on the wall. Grab that one. This one is going to make you be forced to have your knife out. So again, be ready for that. Take it back over to the lock. And then once you do the third and final key on the lock, you're going to get a mid-game cutscene. Just a note, if you're having any trouble finding any of these keys, check the pinned comment down below and it should be able to help you out. After the cutscene is over, you'll get the DG2 turret for the car. Go down, install that thing on the car, and then you're gonna back the car up until you have an angle to shoot this clock in the very, very middle of the arena. Now, once shot, 3 of the 4 clock faces on this clock will actually stop moving, and if you shoot them with the wonder weapon and then recall your bullet back into you, it will turn your gauntlet purple. And you use this purple gauntlet to start different challenges around the map. Now, just a note on how the clock works, you can shoot the clock with the wonder vehicle once per round. That will cause the clock to activate, and every single time the clock is activated, you will be able to shoot the clock with the gauntlet on 3 of the 4 clock faces. So you get 3 purple gauntlets per round after you shoot it with the wonder vehicle. This is just a heads up on how it works because some of these steps are going to require multiple purple gauntlet charges. The first gauntlet challenge we're going to do is very, very simple to start. Head inside the farm and look at what time is on the clock on the wall. Now, on the floor, there's going to be a bunch of scratch marks in the floor with different Roman numerals. You're going to match the Roman numeral to the clock, and if you stand on the correct one, this little father's head will basically start turning around to look at you. Now, just to note with the gauntlet, if you shoot your bullet, the bullet goes away and your gauntlet is no longer purple, but you can switch weapons and use your other weapon in case you need to protect yourself like I did there. Anyway, once the head has turned, looked at you and the eyes are red, shoot it with that purple gauntlet, and now you are able to move on to the next step. Very simply, we just need to collect 4 parts from around this farm area. The first one is next to stamina up in this little cabinet. The second one is in the barn up the stairs on this little body bag here. The third one is in the garage next to the armor and the mystery box on this little tool shed. And the fourth one is right next to where we got the wonder weapon inside of this bathtub. Once you have the 4 items, place them down on the 4 symbols outside and then press again to activate a little lockdown in which you need to protect these symbols from taking too much damage from zombies. If you're having any trouble with this, just run Frenzied Guard. Every single zombie in the map will run to you instead of attacking these things. It makes it super, super easy on solo, but other than that, it should be very, very easy to protect them. And then once they are done being protected, the timer runs out, you are good to go. This entire area is finished. Next, we're gonna go get another purple charge from the clock tower. Again, shoot it with the truck and then go ahead and suck it back out with the gauntlet, and we're gonna take these to the Zarya Cosmodrome. Once at the Cosmodrome, you're gonna take your gauntlet and shoot these giant spinning things in order to slow them down. You're gonna need to repeat this process twice for both of them on either side. Once both have been activated, you're gonna go over and look at these monitors to see what your word is. There are basically a couple of different words it can spell on these screens, and I'll put the translator up on screen right here so you can see what it's spelling. It's basically spelling a word 2 letters at a time. So in my game right here, I see that these 2 letters are LA. I don't have footage of it, but my next 2 letters were UN, and then my next 2 letters after that were CH, and then it would repeat back and forth over and over and over. So I know my actual code word is launch. Now, once you know your code word, these are the numbers for each one of the words that I know so far. If there are any more words found, I will put them down below in the pinned comment, but these are all of the words that have been found so far: launch, rocket, engine, weapon, and then all corresponding numbers that go with it. So obviously I have launch, I have 11, 0, 20, 13, 2, 7. Now, what do I do with these numbers? You enter them in these monitors at the front of the room. Basically, you shoot the red button in order to stop the number on the number that is yours. There will be 4 numbers as it's cycling through. Just shoot the red button whenever you see your number. So as I go all the way through, I do all of my numbers 11, 0, 20, 13, 2, 7. And after I do the last one, the Ascension rocket will launch. Very, very cool mini Easter egg cutscene here. And you are done with this area of the map. And we are on to the second to last step of this whole Easter egg. The next step takes place at the diner. And basically what happens is every other round, there's going to be a lightning storm above the diner. And this step can only be done when you see these lightning strikes above the diner. Now, before you start the step, make sure you have melee macchiato. You'll see why in just a second, but have melee macchiato, have a purple gauntlet, drive over here with your car, make sure your car is with you, and make sure there's a lightning storm. Now, here's what you're gonna wanna do. Head over here, call Klaus in. We're gonna be waking up several of the residents here. So call in Klaus, give it a few seconds for Klaus to actually come in, and we're gonna be chilling here, and then whenever Klaus is about to land, we are going to shoot this clock on the wall in order to stop time. This is gonna give us 1 minute of frozen lightning. Immediately when you freeze time, get into your car and ram into the back of this 18-wheeler. That is going to revive 1 of 3 zombies sitting on the ground there. Now that Klaus is in, you're gonna direct Klaus to come over here to the mechanic in the garage that is laying on the ground, and he is gonna revive this mechanic on the ground by doing a big stomp in this area. So as he walks over, he's gonna do a big stomp, revive the guy on the ground. Good, he is revived, you are good to go. Head into the diner and with melee macchiato, use your melee macchiato fist to open up this little cash register on the counter. Obviously the wonder weapon is not working here. I switched to my fist or just my regular weapon and I punch it open and that revives the person on the floor right there. Now we have 3 different glowing zombies that are gonna follow us around, and then at this point you're gonna basically run out of time. So you're gonna have to wait for the next lightning storm to come back with another purple gauntlet in order to do part 2 of this little Easter egg. Now the next time you have a lightning storm, head over here with the purple gauntlet once again, and before starting the actual lockdown, you're gonna wake up all 3 of the zombies that you revived the last time you were here. Each one is gonna be glowing a certain color. You're gonna train them up and basically have 1 zombie left in your entire round that's a regular zombie, and then your 3 glowing zombies. Now, once you have this, you're gonna hit the clock with your purple gauntlet once again, and you're gonna bring each one of the zombies to its designated color. There will be a color matching the actual lightning. The zombie will get electrified and stay standing there. And basically, you need to do this for all 3 of the lightning strikes that are suspended in the sky. Once you get all 3 zombies here, just wait for the time to run out. It will shock and kill them, and then you are completely done with this step of the Easter egg. Now, once you've done the other 3, head down with the purple gauntlet to the lake area, and this is gonna be the 4th and final one. Before you get started with anything inside, go to the outside back porch area. You're gonna see a big glowing thing. Activate it. There will be a bunch of wisps that fly out, and now you are ready to activate the projector by shooting it with your purple gauntlet. Now, the screen is gonna show you 4 images in a row. Those 4 images are gonna show you the order to shoot the film reels that exist in each one of those spots. So basically 4 images, now you know the order to shoot 4 film reels around this location. So the first image I had in my game was this image here. This is an image of the area with the crafting table, and the actual film reel that I shot first in my game was this one because I had it first. This is the one that corresponds to that picture. The next picture I had was of the boathouse. If you have the boathouse one, this is where the boathouse reel spawns. So again, I'm shooting this one second in my game, but this is where the location is whenever you have this image. The third image I had was the front of the house, and this one's a little misleading because it shows the front of the house, but the reel is actually upstairs at the front of the house. It's on the inside of the front of the house. This is the reel, so I'm shooting this one third in my game, but this is where this location is. And then fourth and finally, the last location is the out backyard of the house, and it is showing basically the back stairs of the house, but the film reel is actually underneath here, underneath by the ammo drop. So basically climb underneath the ammo drop, shoot it down here. This is the 4th one I shot in my game. And if you do all 4 in order, you will be able to complete this step at the Easter egg. You'll get some voice lines and everything like that. However, if you fail it, you'll basically have to go shoot the projector again and get a new order for all of your stuff. Also, as a note, if you mess up, you will get a jump scare Easter egg. It's a good way to know that you've messed up and you need to progress to the next round before you try again. If done correctly, this box upstairs in the house will be glowing like crazy. You're gonna interact with this box, and then you're gonna summon Klaus from the summon down below, and you're gonna direct him with that tactical button to come upstairs, and he will actually pick up the object out of the box. And once you have done this, you are boss fight ready. Once he has the object, he will go stand down over here. Before you activate him, because there's one final challenge you need to do before it'll send you into the boss fight, make sure you have the car close by in this area, and I'm gonna show you the exact path to drive on in order to actually activate the boss fight once you vote to initiate it. So vote to initiate it with Klaus, go get in the car, and then you're gonna sit here and you're gonna wait until you see a little object come flying in through the sky to create this little ethereal portal here. Once you see those portals, drive on the path that I do here, because you need to basically collect in each one of the legs. There's 4 legs to make a little circle around the map. You need to collect 3 of these power locations in each one. They're pretty easy to spot, but if you miss one of them, you're gonna fail and have to try again. So for the second leg, again, the first one I just drove over. The second one is over here on the left, and the third one is up here on the right. Again, make sure you're driving over all these health packs you can to heal up your car, because you will be taking a ton of damage. Obviously, if your car breaks, you'll have to restart and try again. And the second to last leg is right up here on the boat. This is the second trickiest one. Just make sure you take this right turn. 1, 2, and 3, and then you can continue on to the final leg where all of them are completely obvious. And then as soon as you hit the last one, you'll be instantly teleported into the boss fight. Now, there's really only 2 things to remember in the boss fight. Number 1 is that he's going to be sending these missile attacks all the time out on the floor. These things are going to destroy the car. They're going to do a ton of damage to you, and you need to avoid them at all cost. The second one is that he does not take much damage from guns at all until you ram him with the car multiple times, opening his weak spots up to actually do damage. So the formula is basically drive around the arena, avoid attacks. Whenever he is in the middle, you're gonna drive your car at him, try to hit him in his weak spots with the car, or open up new weak spots by hitting his different faces with the car. Use your beam attack, hit him, and basically reveal those weak spots. Lay into him with your weapons or the turret on the car in order to do the most damage. As soon as you get him below half health, he will start doing a devastating beam attack. Either hide behind the car, hide behind some pillars or something like that, or preferably use the car to hit his beam nose in the mouth. And if you do that fast enough, he will not use the beam attack, and you can actually stun him out from using it. This is the most devastating attack of the game though, so make sure you're respecting it whenever he uses it. If your car gets broken, just run over and repair it by holding square on it for a while. And the other thing is, if he goes immune, there will be pillars of light in the sky. There will be pillars of light that spawn in on the ground. Make sure you pick that up with your car and then ram into him to end his immune phase so that you can do damage to him once again. Play safe, revive each other, and definitely come very set up for this, because it is definitely a very difficult boss fight. But once you beat it, you have completed the Easter egg. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, a like or subscribe would be very much appreciated. But either way, I will be seeing you guys tomorrow for some curse mode bright and early in the morning. So I'll see you guys there. Thank you guys so much for watching.